Hi, it's Buzz Kanter. I'm from American Iron Magazine, AIMAG.com. And it's 2 weeks and a couple of days before the Motorcycle Cannonball 2014. This will be the third running of the Motorcycle Cannonball, and it'll be the longest run by far of the three. The first one was in 2010, 1915 and earlier motorcycles. Kitty Hawk, North Carolina to Los Angeles, Santa Monica. In 2012, we were allowed to ride newer bikes up to 1929. We went from New York to San Francisco. And this time, 2014, we're running up to 1936s. And we are running from Daytona, Florida to Tacoma, Washington, corner to corner. I'd like to thank our sponsors who helped build mine. Start with Rob Nussbaum and the guys at Retro Cycle in New Jersey, who tore my motorcycle all the way apart and rebuilt it. Did a great job. They converted it from a 6-volt to a 12-volt system, although it's virtually invisible to see. Went from a 3-brush to a 2-brush generator with a system that they sell, which I highly recommend. I'd like to thank the people at Conti Tires, Continental, for supplying us with rubber. I'd like to thank Amsoil Oil for the synthetic oil we are running in the motorcycles. I'd like to thank my partners, Paul Ozzie, Pat Simmons, and Chris Simmons, who will also be riding with me on their motorcycles. There'll be 4 of us on Team American Iron. And most of all, I'd like to thank the people at Adventure Power Batteries. They're ponying up the money as our title sponsor to help this all happen. Adventure Power Batteries. Well, here's the motorcycle. It's my 1936 Harley Flathead. It's a VLH. 1 year only, 1936, a factory-built 80-inch stroker. So here it is, all redone. We left it dirty looking, which is basically how we had it before we started rebuilding it. Every single nut and every single bolt on this motorcycle has been taken apart, taken off, redone. The Continental tires up in the front. We did put modern tires on, makes a great difference. Rebuilt the front end. It is drum brakes. The horn, the headlight, which works great now, we did convert it over to a 12-volt headlight. It's very bright. Let's see if we can get it on. So that's a lot brighter than any 6-volt. So rebuilt all the dampers. The steering head bearings were all redone. This is a Hansen Sport Shield. It does lift up higher or it can stay down lower. It was an accessories in the 40s, very rare. This one's a reproduction. We put newer mirrors on. They're tall. I do want to see what's going on behind me. Okay, here is the motor. It's a 1 year only 80-inch flathead from Harley Davidson. They took a traditionally 74-inch and stroked it. That's the difference between a VL and a VLH. It looks pretty similar from here. There are some minor tweaks. Let's go into it and have a look a little bit. Down inside here is the oil pump. So it is cable actuated, goes up here. It is a total loss oiling system. What that means is the oil drains down or pumps down into the motor and then either spews out into the primary chain to lubricate it or just gets dumped out, and we change it regularly. This is a switch for my brake lights. This is the rear brake. The kicker, no electric starts back then, kick start. This is an original Remy Delco cover, and underneath it is a modern regulator from Retro Cycle. Inside the battery box is an Adventure Power battery. We'll give a little love here. Retro Cycle. Adventure Power is Team American Iron Motorcycle Cannonball. This is a toolbox in here. It's to keep my registration and all. This seat is sprung. It goes up and down. There is no rear suspension at all. It is just the seat. Saddlebags I just found recently in the red box on the back. This is a spare gas can. When you're out riding over 4,000 miles across America, it's nice to know you have some spare gas. The shielded tail light, also the brake light in there, is correct. A tip on the fender, and that is a rear center stand. You can use that to put the bike up in case you want to work on it or change the tire or whatever. Okay, the other side, the saddlebags, the drive chain. Here's the primary, and you can see it's dripping a little bit of oil. It's designed to do that. The primary chain needs to be lubricated, and it's not enclosed. Harley didn't do that until 1965. The battery box, we did put a modern 12-volt coil in there. Again, we did upgrade to 12-volt system. This is a Harley air cleaner. It's not a correct one for 36, but it is a correct Harley air cleaner, genuine one. And this is the foot clutch. Basically, the equivalent of using a hand clutch is if you push down on your heel, it would be like pulling in the clutch lever, and then you push your toe down, it's like letting go of the clutch lever. This is a modern generator. It's been upgraded from a standard 3-brush generator to a 2-brush and rewound as a 12-volt, again from Retro Cycles in Boonton, New Jersey. Okay, the hand shifter. This is the original hand shifter. Here's the shifter gate. So basically, if you shift it up to low, to neutral, back to second, then all the way back to third, and there's a bump, which I believe might be unique to 1936's only. Here's the rider's view. We have 3 caps. The one in the front is oil. Unlike the Knucklehead that also came out in 1936 that had the oil under the seat, this one has the oil in the left. These tanks are split down the middle. The one on the left, on the top is oil, on the back is gas, on the right side is all gas. Speedo with an external drive. This is the oil pump. You can hand pump it. Now, this is when you want to override. For example, if you set your oil and you're going at very, very high speeds for a long, long time, or going up severe, steep roads, you might want to stroke 1 extra ounce of oil into it. Otherwise, the pump does its job. Then when you drain it, you have to stroke it in by hand. So when you drain it, let's see if we can see this here, but this little device here, I don't know if I can see that in the video, this on the spring pushes down and then clips under, and what will happen is the oil will drain down underneath. There's a little drain plug there. So after you drain the oil, you then grab the oil pump and stroke it up and down. Each stroke is worth about 1 ounce, and you put 2 ounces in. Okay, the dash is kind of primitive, I guess, but effective. On the left is a switch. It's a key switch for the turn the motor on and off. On the right is a key switch to turn your headlights on and off. And then there's an ammeter in the middle to tell you what kind of condition your battery charging is. And then the chrome piece here is actually a light, which you can turn on and off to light up your ammeter to see what's going on for night riding. Traditional right throttle, same as modern bikes. Your high-low switch. This is a crossover bar. We have this in here because I will be mounting a route sheet holder on it. It's not on right now, but it will be next week before we go. Over here is your horn, and the brake is on the left. This throws a lot of people off. And on the left throttle, well, it's not throttle, left handlebar turns. This is to advance and retard the ignition. The reason that you have a left brake instead of a right, which is what they have on Harleys now, is when you're trying to work your throttle and you're trying to work your foot clutch, it's very difficult to move the brake if it's on the right if you're moving your hand back and forth on the throttle. I hope that makes sense. Okay, on the front is drum brakes setup, and same on the rear. So that's it in a nutshell. A 1936 VLH. Now, if we can, I don't know if I'm able to, but let's see if we'll be able to get this thing started. This will be a challenge. So, and the reason it'll be a challenge is because I'm videotaping this all by myself. I don't have someone here holding it. So I'm trying to set up a little camera, and we'll see what we can do here. How's that? Is that a decent angle? So what we're going to do now is go over and prime it. The gas line is already on. I put the choke up on the carburetor side, retard the ignition, full throttle with the ignition off, the gas key or the key off. One primer kick should do it. Take the choke off, advance halfway, turn the ignition switch on, and if I do it right, it should start. Or not. And there you have it, Buzz Kanter from American Iron Magazine, AIMAG.com, with my 1936 Harley VLH, getting ready for Motorcycle Cannonball 2014. Thanks to all of our sponsors, not in any order: Continental Tires, Adventure Power Batteries, who else? We got others, Amsoil Oil, Retro Cycle, and of course the crew at American Iron Magazine.